I'm sure everyone has seen this sight before. This trash can is the product of a week's worth of wrappers, cans, used papers, you name it. Once you realize it's full, you go dump it into the large trash cans outside, and once a week, a trash truck comes to pick it up and take it away. But where does it go? Most people wouldn't think twice, or they believe that everything will just be recycled. But that is not the case. The truck travels for miles, burning gas to get to its destination, or a midway depot where an even larger truck takes it the rest of the way. The destination in question is a growing issue which must be addressed. The destination is, of course, a landfill. But just what is a landfill? A landfill is a complex, man made disposal site for garbage of all kinds. Remember that wrapper from the burger you ate last week? Yep, it's in there. There are, however, restrictions on the kinds of garbage which can go in, namely toxic chemicals. I say complex because there is a lot of groundwork which must be covered in order to make a proper landfill, both physically and legally. Part of the physical process is first digging a massive pit in the earth and then covering it with a liner so the garbage does not become buried in the earth, as you see these men and machines doing. But their work does not stop there. No, once they are finished laying the groundwork, they begin filling it with garbage. Large trucks and machines will begin taking in tons of garbage. To give you an idea of the scale of a landfill, imagine hundreds of acres being filled to the brim with garbage. Take over 500 football fields being filled for up to 80 years. What do they do when they are done filling in a landfill? Well, if there is enough land and if health and safety regulations are met, then entire communities can be built upon a landfill. The site must first apply for the VSRP, which stands for Voluntary Site Remediation Program, which is essentially the criteria for eligible landfills. However, even with regulations, in recent years there have been more and more outcries about landfills, namely with the construction of new landfills. We are simply producing so much waste that we are running out of places to put it. Landfills have to be put at least somewhat close to the cities, otherwise the trucks wouldn't be able to transport all the garbage. And of course, we don't want that because all the trucks and heavy equipment require a tremendous amount of gas and oil to operate. Landfills use giant vehicles which stand up to 15 feet high and can weigh up to 50 tons. Landfills are no small endeavor, which relates back to the problem of running out of room to put the garbage. But garbage isn't the only thing which builds up at a landfill. In fact, if landfills only had one redeeming quality, it's that they produce methane gas, which is stored in these silos. The gas is then either burned or sent to a power plant. However, power plants can store so much, so more times than not, about 25% of the methane is burned. But is methane and the chance to be used as a residency really enough to remedy the whole situation? No, because a landfill is still overall very much so destructive. However, they are actually necessary, because where else would we put the garbage? At first glance, this repurposed landfill does look kind of nice, but this is pretty much the nicest it can look.
There is a large impact that landfills have on the environment. Landfills cause pollution to the local environment by contaminating the groundwater and aquifers, contaminating the soil, and producing methane. Methane is a greenhouse gas that is 21 times more powerful than carbon dioxide, or CO2. As you may know, greenhouse gases are said to be the leading cause of global warming. Landfill methane is created when organic materials such as food scraps, paper, and yard waste decompose. There are many negative issues associated with landfills. The most important are toxins and greenhouse gases. Many materials that end up as waste contain toxic substances. Over time, these toxins leach into our soil and groundwater and become environmental hazards for years. When organic material such as food scraps and green waste is put in landfills, it is generally compacted down and covered. This removes the oxygen and causes it to break down in an anaerobic process. Eventually, this releases methane, a greenhouse gas and a flammable gas that can be dangerous if allowed to build up in concentration. Landfill gases and the sheer amount of landfill waste can easily ignite a fire. Fires can be difficult to put out and contribute to the pollution of the air and water. They can also potentially destroy habitats nearby if not controlled soon enough. The most flammable gas that is most commonly produced by landfills is methane, which is highly combustible. Sometimes landfills are covered with earth, seeded with grass, and transformed into recreational areas. The management of gases coming out of these sites is a constant issue and creates an ongoing cost. Products that are natural, such as wasted fruits and vegetables, will decompose within weeks, while items like styrofoam can take over a million years to decompose. The Great Pacific Garbage Patch is a collection of marine debris in the North Pacific Ocean. Marine debris is litter that ends up in oceans, seas, and other large bodies of water. The patch spans from the west coast of North America to Japan and is comprised of the Western Garbage Patch, located near Japan, and the Eastern Garbage Patch, located between Hawaii and California. About 80% of the debris in the Great Pacific Garbage Patch comes from land-based activities in North America and Asia. Trash from the coast of North America takes about 6 years to reach the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, while trash from Japan and other Asian countries takes about a year. Because the patch is so far away from any country's coastline, no nation will take responsibility or provide the funding to clean it up. Charles Moore, the man who discovered the vortex, says cleaning up the garbage patch would bankrupt any country that tried it. However, many individuals and international organizations are dedicated to preventing the patch from growing. As Americans, we live in one of the most developed countries in the world, which also means we are one of the largest contributors of organic materials going into landfills. Not only does the increase of household waste lead to more greenhouse gases being emitted, but we contribute more greenhouse gases to transport that waste to landfill sites. The best way to reduce the amount of methane being produced by landfills is to take steps to reduce the amount of organic materials going to the landfill in the first place.